Hey guys, welcome back to Unimportant Reviews. My name's Steve, and today we'll be going over the Transformers Age of Extinction Grimlock. This is the Hasbro toy from the new movie that's coming out, and I am just super excited about this guy, just because we're actually getting Dinobots in a movie. Even though they're not, like, I understand they're not really, most of them are the actual Dinobots, but I'm still as happy, like, Michael Bay's trying. And we're getting, like, I'm just really happy to see Grimlock in a film now. And even though it's not really like his regular T-Rex, I still think this is a really awesome design that they're going with. His color scheme doesn't really match what we're going to get in the film, so that's already, like, looking at this as a little bit of a downer, but hopefully we'll eventually get a release of him with the actual dark gunmetal and color look over here, which would be really nice. But from what I can tell so far, the coloring actually looks pretty nice in here. And one other thing is just this packaging overall, like, I really do like how this looks. Like, especially with all the new Transformers that are coming out with the, how they're doing the comic books with the backgrounds, and then they're using some of the IDW images for the figures for the Voyager stuff. Like, those really actually look sweet and actually have been making me want to keep them in the packaging, and this isn't helping that at all, because I need to open these and play with them, but he just looks so good in there. So, getting into the packaging, I like the T-Rex image down here for his alt mode, even though, again, it's not really fully a T-Rex, but yeah, it still looks really cool. And then you got the nice Transformer going up this here, and this is just a nice clean look to the packaging, and this is really great. And for the top, pretty plain with the little comment out about symbol. Same with the side here, even though it's not really much going on here. Still, they actually looks pretty neat with even though for how simplistic it is. And then for the back of the packaging, we get Grimlock in his alt mode and his robot form. And another thing to point out, we get Optimus Prime as another figure that's coming out on this line. And spoiler alert, I did actually manage to get one, so I'll be putting a review about him out shortly. And bring it a little closer. If you guys want to read the bio here, it's actually a really nice bio. I'll give you guys a second. If you want to pause it. Alright, good. Good. And for the other side, we just get more Transformers, you know. So, that's pretty much it for the packaging. Let's get him open up out of his cardboard prison. Alright, so here's Grimlock open up out of his cardboard prison. And for starters, we're going to go over his accessory, which is this giant mace here. Which, actually, it looks pretty cool. I like the little spikes on the end of it. And this little spear thing going on here. Overall, it's not a bad design. And one thing I want to show you guys, just starting off with this, is in the instruction booklet, it shows off that you can actually put this on the end of the tail here, because there's these little nubs here. And you can see in here where the little slots are. You just kind of pop the tail in and slide the slots where the nubs are. And it takes a little bit of force, but you get it on there. And this is by far the goofiest looking dinosaur form I've ever seen whenever you attach that thing to it. Like, really, Hasbro? Because if you actually take this thing off, personally, get off, it takes a little bit of effort. This actually doesn't look so bad to me, and I'll get into it a little bit later, which actually have a reason why I actually don't mind having this part on here. But we'll get that off for a second. And overall, if you take that off, this doesn't look so bad anymore. He actually has a really nice details to him. I really like the exoskeleton look that they have going on with him. And overall, even though the coloring isn't the same as what is in the film, this actually is a pretty eye-catching looking figure here with the nice orange going on here, or bronze, whatever you want to call it, and with the black stripes and everything. And I really do actually like this head mold a lot. I really like the gnarly teeth that are inside of here. And another thing to point out is on these eyes, they are actually really nicely done. I really wish they would have put some light piping on this or something, just to have them like give like a nice glow effect, or even did like a little light up effect in here, because they actually put a lot of work into what's in there, and it would have been nice if they would have been able to show it off a little more. And I like the little horns here, even though it might have been nice if they were a little more pointed, but they're pretty cool, and they actually have a little bit of articulation to them, so you can have them like put up like a puppy where he's just like, "Whatcha?" But or it's probably going to be staying down, just kind of give off that little film look to him. And he's got his little T-Rexy arms. which, as you can see with me moving these around, one little complaint I have on this guy is he doesn't really hold his transformation very well. It's because you can see here there's a little nub here, or a little slot here, and there's the nub. And I really would have wished they would have added the little, like, what do you want to say, with like the little spots at the end where they kind of click in. Because when you put it on here and you start messing around with his arms and everything, it really pops out easy, and it does that, like, show you back here too. Same thing for the tail back here. It only really, it's supposed to slide up in here because there's a little nub down here too, right in there. And get up there. So when you slide it in, if you start messing around with the legs and stuff for me, everything just starts popping out when you start playing with it and moving out. So that's a little bit of a downer for me. But again, I don't really play with these guys all that much. And now I'm just messing this up. I'll be right back, folks. I have to get him reassembled. He, standing on the shelf, he holds his pose. It's not like randomly things are just going to be popping off when he's just sitting here, but in terms of like if you want to play with them and whatnot, it's just, it gets a little bit frustrating, which it's the reason I want to show you guys this, because if you click it on the end of the tail here, it at least stops this part from popping out. So even though this is a little bit, gives you that more like dinosaur or the T-Rex look for him, and this is more of like a little ankylosaurus part for the tail. If you slide that on there, it at least holds the slot in here, so it helps a little bit. So it's just one little bonus for that little thing, even though it looks goofy with that thing. I can just get out of here. But overall, like, I think it's got a nice little look to it, and I'm pretty actually happy with this guy in dinosaur form, because as long as you're not messing around with him, he has a really nice look to him on the shelf. But just in terms of play value, it's a little. I can see it being a little frustrating. And he's got, starting with his articulation, he's got a little bit of a bend. He's got the horns that bend up here. And then for his mouth, he actually has a little gimmick here, which when I was first playing with him, I'm like, why does it do this? And I was like, oh, I'm dumb. So when he pushes this in, does the munchies like, feed me. And then down here for his arms, he's got, again, things pop up. He's got ball joints on his little T-Rex arms here. And then for his legs, you can move them back and forth. They got a rotation here. It's got a bend at the knee. And then if you want to dislocate this part, because that's where part of the transformation is, because there's his hand. If you want to have him like having like kind of like a running pose, you could pop that out and get it moving forward. Actually, it doesn't look bad, so that's another little positive for this guy. And nothing really with the tail here. So overall, it's pretty good. I actually do like this guy in this form, but let's see how he looks in his robot form. For a quick comparison, we have the new Age of Extinction Grimlock compared next to the other generation's Grimlock from Fall of Cybertron. And here's Grimlock in robot form, which I gotta say, this guy looks pretty impressive just sitting here. I really do like how they got the T-Rex heads as the shoulders. And he's got like this nice samurai kind of knight thing going on with them. And granted, like, it's not really what we're really accustomed to with what we got with like the Gen 1 Transformers. And of course Michael Bay is going to be going about transforming these guys. Transforming, but sorry. But it's still, I think it's a really cool look for him. And bring him a little closer. For his head sculpt, even though there's not really any light piping going on with here, he's got this really cool like shredder kind of helmet going on with him. You can see here, he's even got like the little teeth here, which you see in a lot of the some of the comics. They had Grimlock, and some of the versions have that going on, which is really cool. And he's got the nice green going on, just like his eyes were in the dinosaur form. And he's got the cool little teeth plating going on here on his breastplate. And one little bit of an eyesore, and I've seen some people complaining about him, is you can see this is where his feet are and just kind of rest on his arm, which actually doesn't really bother me at all personally. And one little thing is, again, wish it would clamp in because it doesn't really, but you can rotate it around stuff. So if you really want to hide it, you can have them kind of like doing like the little fist pump thing, which can depend, right? But it's not really that bad. It kind of just reminds me more of how like you just got like big gauntlets on or something. So it's still, I think it's a cool look for him, personally. And then he's got like the little skirt thing going on here with his little T-Rex hands coming around. And then for his legs, the only thing that kind of threw me off a bit is, looks like they're trying to go with a more of like a knight feel for him down here. So I don't really get the elf boots here, because more knights have like the pointy end on their boots, mainly for like defense, so like they kick at them. So that's a little different of an approach, but it's still, it's not bad. And then for his back, which again, with like some of the dinosaur ones, you get weird looking transformations, and here we go. Got his lower mouth just kind of hanging here with his, here's his neck and the part that hides his head. And it's not, you don't really look him at the back, but it doesn't really look quite as good to me, because this just looks like a disassembled like museum exhibit just kind of sitting around on his back. But overall, I think this is actually a really cool design. I really do like how the Age of Extinction figures have been looking overall, because they'll be putting out the Optimus in a little bit, but some of what I've seen like online images and stuff, they look pretty impressive overall. And Grimlock does not disappoint. And then for his accessory, all you really do is you put, this is where the handle is, and at least for mine, it's really hard to get that thing to go in there all the way. But he kind of just holds on to the handle and not the staff here, which is a little bit of a letdown, because you can't really have him like, there's no way of really having him dual wield it. So he's pretty much just, looks like he's just going to be like kind of carrying in the battle. Kind of like a briefcase. Which overall, like, even, I don't really think this is necessary for him, because mostly, even standing on the shelf, he looks really good just standing there. But then again, you just kind of have it look like he's like marching in and just carrying his giant mace of a weapon. So even though you can't like get like as cool of dynamic fight poses as you would like, there's still some options with it. So I don't think it's totally bad, but I would have really liked if they had some way of maybe even doing like a little segment where you just pop the two things out and then put them back in the hand. That would have been cool, but then I can see kids losing this, and they don't want kids to lose these. So we got that. So for his articulation, his head's on a swivel here. He's got a rotation at the shoulders, and it bends in and out too. That thing's popping off again. He's got a rotation here at the bicep. He's got a bend at the elbow. And then he's got a rotation on his wrist here, which you can only really do if you pop the feet out, because it's supposed to stay clamped in. But you still, it's nice that you have that option. And then get his head fixed again. Straight shredder. He has nothing at the waist here. He's got a little bit at the legs here, but some of the stuff kind of gets in the way with the little T-Rex hands and part of his skirt here. But if you fiddle around with it, you can get a nice range of motion out of here, and it goes in and out. And it's also got a little rotation up here at the top of the thighs. Nothing that the knees is for rotation, but it bends in and out. It's on a nice ratchet joint. And then he's got a nice bend at his feet. Just mainly for the transformations where it locks in. But you can still get a little bit of movement out of it. But it's kind of flimsy, so you're mainly just going to have them kind of stand straight up on it when you have them posing on your shelf. And here's the Age of Extinction Grimlock compared next to the Fall of Cybertron Grimlock, which it's really great that they have the overall same comparison, because they're supposed to be both ginormous guys, so they look really nice standing on your shelf. And I still really love this Grimlock, but it's really nice that he still competes with this one fairly nicely in overall just design aspects and what have you. So overall, Grimlock, I really do recommend picking him up, especially if you're a big fan of the movies or just Grimlock in general. I think this is actually a really cool figure. I really do love that he gives off this nice Super Shredder if you mix with Grimlock and some random knights. And he gives off this nice, fierce and imposing look, and that's what Grimlock should. And even though his T-Rex form kind of falls apart when you're trying to play with him, he still actually looks really good. And if you just have him displaying on your shelf, it's fine. He's not going to fall apart, and he displays very well. And the robot form more than makes up for the figure. And it would have been maybe nice if they would have done something a little bit more with the weapon instead of it just kind of just hanging on there with the handle and being segmented. But still not a bad weapon, and by all means. But what do you guys think of Grimlock? Are you guys excited about going to see the movie, and are you guys a fan of Grimlock? Or do you guys just not like dinosaurs and I really don't know what happened with your childhood? Leave us like a message in the comments. And if you guys like this video and want to see more stuff like this, please give us a like and subscribe. If you want to share this around with your friends, really would appreciate it. And if you guys want to check out our Facebook page to see pictures of Grimlock and some of the other figures that we've done in the past, or perhaps we'll be doing in the future, it's a really good idea to go look at that. And thank you guys for watching.